friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another mini build. I really enjoyed making my cotton candy truck, which is in the background over here. So this time I decided to make another truck, and today I have made a pet grooming van, or like pet grooming on wheels, which I do see quite a lot. I see people go around and they have their own companies where they wash people's dogs and style them in the back of vans, and I wanted to make one of them on Bloxburg because I thought it was super duper cute. I've always wanted to make a pet groom as like a proper one, and I still probably will at one point, but I just thought this was like the cutest little idea ever. So this is my pet cleaning company behind me. I just went for a very generic name, so it's called Dashing Dogs, and I just threw a few little bubbles about using these tiny decals, and I think they look so cute. So it has wheels on the outside and it is a little truck. It's just very similar shape to the cotton candy truck that's on the other side, so it's basically the same size as that but repainted. This is a cotton candy truck if you have not seen it before. That's what I made in the last video. I'm kind of planning to put all the tiny plots on one big plot. I think that'd look really cool at the end. But let's get into looking inside of this dog cleaning van because I think it's so cute. So at the back here I just have two sliding doors that open up to let you inside of the van, and inside here I use these little decals of dogs. My unicorn is stuck on the door. I use these little decals of dogs all the way around and I think they look so cute. I just got these off of the internet and turned them into decals and I absolutely love them. So they're covering all the van and I just think it really makes this look a lot cuter. I love making my own decals at the moment. So I have those all over. On this side of the van we have like the puppy washing area, so this is where you wash the dog. So we have two huge sinks with showers above them as well. I like to think that these are the showers that you can like take off the wall and bring them down to wash the dogs. And above this I put a little shelf with some like cleaning stuff on, so we have some sponges, this is a little comb over here if you can't see it, and then we also have a bottle of like soap. There's also a little shelf under the sink that I just put some more bottles and towels and stuff on, and then on this side is just a stack of cleaning things. So we have bottles of soap, bottles of shampoo and conditioner for puppies. We have fluffy towels so you can wash the puppies up afterwards. I said wash them up, I mean wrap them up afterwards in fluffy towels. I have a few hairbrushes, I have toothbrushes as well, so people do brush dogs' teeth. And then I also have a few more combs on here, and I just think this looks so cute. I added a few more little towels on here as well. And then on the other side is like the styling area, so this, once you've washed the dog you take them over to this side. I made this kind of like draining rack here that you'd put the dog on to kind of dry them off on, and there's also another towel here, and then we have hair dryers and a hairbrush, and then this last little bit here is the styling bit, so I just put some kind of more like styling products and another hairbrush on here. I really love how the inside of this looks. At first I was like a little bit stuck, I didn't know how to do it, but once I started like adding more things in, I just really loved how this build was looking. At the front of the truck is just kind of a normal kind of truck kind of thing, so we have like the dashboard, we have a steering wheel, and I also used a plunger to make the gear stick, and then I just have some chairs in the front, so it's very like normal truck at the front because I wanted this to actually look like a dog groomer's on wheels. But yeah, that is my dog grooming truck. If you do want to see how I made this, stick around and watch the speed build. That will be coming up now. If not, as always guys, please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Comment down below with any future video ideas, and a huge thank you for watching. Bye guys. Mwah. So I'm starting out by mapping out the size of the truck. Originally I was going to make it 3 squares wide, but then realised it would be way too big if I did that. So I made it the same size as the candy floss truck from the last video. Now I'm just trying to work out some doors on the van. Originally I was going to put doors at the front here to be kind of like doors into the vehicle, but I really didn't like how they looked, and I also felt like I wouldn't be able to put the wheels on there. So for now I'm just putting the windows in, and I'm going to work out how you get to the front seats afterwards. So that's me just placing the windows in. I decided to use a fence to divide this bit instead of the wall, but I do think later on I do put the wall back in. Anyway, now I'm putting some sinks in here. These are the sinks that I'd use to wash the dogs, so I really like these big industrial sinks. I think they look more like dog washing sinks, and I'm also putting some shower heads above them because people tend to use showers to like wash dogs from what I've seen. And now I'm going back outside and I'm using these circular decals to beat the wheels of the truck. And I want some decals on the side of the truck, so I'm just trying to work out where they are going to go because I'm going to make my own logo for the van. So that's just me messing around with those now. And then I'm using dressers and tables at the front of the truck like I did with the candy floss truck to make it kind of look like a truck shape. So I'm using 4 of these dressers and then 4 of small little tables, which you'll see in a moment. I thought I was getting those out, but apparently not. But for these little tables here at the front as well, I'm turning these two sideways because I will eventually put some headlights in those. And then I'm using some pillars on the corner of the truck just to give a little bit more detail and a little bit of pop of colour once I colour these. So now I'm just putting decals on the other side of the truck as well to match. And then I'm using some smaller decals, which I will put some decals in there later. I don't know why I said I'd put some decals in there. Of course I'm going to put some decals in decals. But I'm just using these circular ones and putting them all over the truck. And now, like I did with the candy floss truck, I'm doing a glass roof in the middle and then two little flat roofs at the side to kind of get a sunroof effect. And now I'm colouring the van. I decided to go for a white van with this. Originally I was going to do blue and white, but I do eventually change the colours up slightly further on in the video. But for now I'm just painting everything else blue with white. And I'm painting this front bit to match, and then I'm painting all of the wheels black just so they don't look a little bit awkward on the other side that won't have the decal in. And here I am putting the headlights in. I just use these box lights and I like to change the yellow slightly on them. It doesn't really make a difference, but I like to do it. And now I'm painting the roof to match the pillars. And then I'm painting the decals white just to make sure they all blend in perfectly, because I'm going to use some transparent decals in there so you won't see a background once I put them in there. And inside the truck I decided to go for this light blue colour, and I really like how it's like a slightly different contrast to the darker blue. And then I'm adding a little counter at the end here. I didn't want it to touch all the way to the door because I do want you to actually be able to get into the truck, so I left a little gap next to the counter and the door. And now I'm just trying to work out the space in here. On one side I'm going to have like the washing area for the dogs, and on the other side I'm going to have like the styling part. So this side is the washing area, and I'm going to add some like different bottles of soap and stuff in here. So I'm filling this shelf up with bottles. I'm also going to add some different combs and stuff that they'll use while they're washing the dogs, and I'm also going to add some hairbrushes into here as well. And then I also put some toothbrushes in. I guess people do brush dogs' teeth, so I thought this is like, we'll just fill up that space a little bit. Adding some towels as well, ready for when the dog gets out the bath, so they have fluffy towels to wrap them up in. And then I'm moving on to the other side and trying to work out how to do a drying area. I'm not really sure what I'm going to put on here yet. I think I really struggled with this side of the room more so than the other. But anyway, yeah, I'm back onto the cleaning side because it was easier to do than the drying side. And I'm painting these sinks. I decided to go for kind of a silvery sink, like that metal feel, because I feel like that's what like dog baths are actually like, because I'd rather do like white to match the theme of the build, but I feel like the silver would be a bit more realistic. And I painted the taps blue. I'm not entirely sure if I keep them blue or if I change them further along in the video. I guess we'll find out. It'll be a little bit of a surprise. And I'm also painting the little towel handle rack things blue to match as well, and then placing some more decals inside, which I am going to put some transparent pictures in these as well later on. Then I'm using these little garden tiles to do a kind of like diner tile effect. I really like this kind of tile. I just think it looks really cute if you do it in pastel colours. And then I'm starting to paint some of the carpets. Actually, I put some different carpets in there because the other ones, which were tiles, were blending in with the new tiles, so I changed them to like the fuzzy outside carpets. And then I'm adding some light to the build just to kind of brighten it up so you can actually see inside of the truck. And then just recolouring some of the things. So I recoloured the shelf to white to match the build, and then I'm colouring the floor. I'm doing a white and grey with the floor. I didn't want to do white and blue because I felt like there'd be way too much blue going on if I did that, and I felt like grey goes quite like nicely with it because it matches in with the sinks. And then I painted the floor underneath the tiles black as well, just to kind of make it look like they had little gaps between the tiles. So now what's actually happened is I've stopped recording, and then I'm going back into recording after making the decals for this build, and I decided I wanted to add another colour rather than blue. I felt like there was way too much blue in this build, so I decided to add some red to it as well, and you'll see why once I add the decal in, because it does include a little bit of red in there. So now I'm painting the showers red to match the outside of the build, adding a few towels under the sink area, and also painting these bottles. And then I'm just going to paint everything else on the shelf to match the rest of the build. And I decided to add an extra toothbrush and a couple of toothbrushes under here on the sink shelf, and a couple of the bottles down there as well. Next, I decided to add a shelf under the showers so that I could put some more kind of washing things on here. And I'm going to paint that to match the sink. And then I'm just taking a few combs, and I'm also going to add some of these boxes on here and make them look like sponges. So I felt like they probably use sponges or something to wash the dog as well as combing them. And then I'm just colouring those again to look like sponges. Now I'm going to paint these two carpets. I decided to go for grey so it kind of matched the rest of the floor. And then I'm moving on to the drying side. I decided to change this counter up a little bit. I wanted to make it look like, I don't know, kind of like a drainer. So like when they put the wet dog on there, there's like water that rushes away. Because I feel like you wouldn't put a wet dog onto like a flat surface. I feel like you'd have something to like let the water run off of them with. So I'm just moving that towel out the way, and I'm using these little boxes to kind of make it look a little bit like a drain. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but it does end up looking pretty okay. And then I actually decided to colour this to kind of match the sink, so I went for that really light grey colour that I used on the sinks. Painted all of that, and then I want to put a shelf on this side as well so I can put some kind of styling things on here like hairdryer and stuff for you to blow dry the dog. Would you use a normal hairdryer on a dog? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they use in dog parlours, but I'm just putting a couple of hairdryers on here and a comb. And then I'm also using this kind of spray can to be like some kind of styling thing. A bit like hairspray, but you won't really put hairspray on a dog. It's just some kind of like spray bottle. I'm not sure. And I'm putting another one down here as well. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else I want to put on here. It's kind of looking a little bit bare on this side, so I'm just finding other stuff that I can put onto the counter as well. I decided to add another hairbrush onto here and a couple of bottles to be more like styling products, and I added a little trash can down in this corner to fill this space up. And I'm painting that to match the rest of the build. And then I'm just deleting these tiles so that I can put some chairs in at the front of the truck so it looks like an actual truck with like driving seats. So I'm just using these chairs for the seats. And then I'm going to add some decals to be like the dashboard and the wheel of the vehicle. And I'm using this plunger to be a gear stick. And then I'm just painting all of these. So I painted the dashboard black and I painted the chairs white because I felt like white really goes with the rest of the theme of the build. Now originally I did have this fence here, but I did put a wall back in and then use a big window instead. I just felt it looked like a little bit better, and I could use this dark blue on it and it kind of ties the whole build together. And then I'm just putting the tiles back in at the front. I'm making sure I paint the gear stick because I almost forgot to do it. And then I'm filling in some of the gaps with some more decals and just making sure they all look tidy. This is where I thought the build was done. But then obviously I ended up coming back into build mode after I'd put the decals in because I realised that I'd not painted the inside decals to match the wall, and I also accidentally had the metal texture on the wall, so it was really dark, so I wanted to make it a little bit brighter. So I went back in and painted these and then just checked that everything was perfect, and that is the build done. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. Please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Comment down below with any future video ideas, and a huge thank you for watching. Bye guys. Mwah.